And if you haven't done it, don't worry about it. One day you will too. And I'm talking to myself here. Blast on. Welcome to Trending Trends Trend with Benjaja. I'm Benjaja. You're here. You made it. Wow, what a great moment this is. I wish someone were here to capture it, but they're not. Welcome to Trending Trends Trend, where every day I go into YouTube to find out what is trending. I do it super early, so I try to get there first, even though I live in California at the beach, so I don't get there first. Anyway, you could always go into what's trending yourself. You hit the Explore tab on the left side, you could find out what's trending. Or if you want to come and join me every day, do this. It's fun. We look at one video. Format of the show is going to change soon, so don't even worry about that whatsoever. Right now, if you're here, give me a like. Helps algorithm boosties. Comment. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Turn the notifications on. Today we've got Bailey and Asa's, I think it's Asa's first time story time. So we've got the image of them in bed together looking at each other like they're nervous. So is this their first time where they're gonna have what looks like to be very consensual sex? Or is this the first time they're doing something else and this is maybe a clickbaity thing? Stay to the end of the video where I will be giving this video Benjaja coins based on how this video is. So check that rating out at the end. And then also stay tuned for word of the day at the end of the video where we learn a new word together. Okay, here we go. Let's give it a watch. Okay, during this ad for people who can't sleep, no, it's for LinkedIn. It's for the early bird gets the wormers or the late night. It doesn't matter. Here we go. Let's watch it.
Okay, hello you guys. This is like the #1 most requested video in the last 3 months that we've gotten. Was a first time story time.
I guess y'all want to know.
Yes, and you guys know, obviously, we had difficulties the first time we filmed it just because we didn't want to get in trouble on YouTube because there's some restrictions. So this will be like a talk around the bush type of version of that story. Let us get started.
Wait a second. Did they like try to make their vlog into like a porn, like a loving sex tape? Like a porn tape? What is that what they're talking about? Anyway, let's keep watching
Dive
this.
into all the tea that you guys have been begging for.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All the tea. Here we go.
So, Willa decided to join us.
Hi, sister. Okay, see ya.
Where do we start? So you guys, I don't know if you guys saw or not, but we totally thought we were leaving in our car. And then we were actually surprised by my parents with a helicopter exit, which is like so bougie and insane.
It was so crazy.
It did not feel real. Like, life didn't feel real. You would think that, like, as we're getting on the helicopter, we would be thinking about the helicopter ride. No. All I could think about the entire helicopter ride is like, oh my gosh, I'm about to have the entire time, and I'm literally like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Not that I was like scared per se, it was just like kind of nervous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure, totally. I mean, don't get me wrong, the helicopter ride was
amazing.
It was so cool, but there was something else on our mind.
Yeah.
Wait, this is so cute and so like charming and like like we've got Euphoria on TV, which has like everybody watching it, and it's just completely romanticized sex, drugs, and I mean, where did Dare go? Anyway, we're not going to talk about that, but like it's just so like to the other end of the spectrum in terms of its raunch and rank, whereas like this is like very it's very like PC and very cute and very charming. Let's just keep watching.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but Asa and I chose to wait until marriage to, you know, seal the deal, and that was just a personal choice that we made. Like, literally, kudos to you, whatever you choose to do. That's why it was like, oh my gosh. It's kind of like silent. Like, me and Asa really weren't like talking.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you have headsets, you can talk to each other, and we were just like, dead silent.
Dead silent. I think both of us were just like trying to be like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. So we land at this hotel, we get escorted into our hotel room, we get in there, and they meaning the wedding team and our parents have totally decked out.
They had like
honeymoon
flowers
suites, like,
delivered and a basket of treats. And my mom wrote like funny little like.
very inappropriate.
Were those deviled eggs? They got them deviled eggs? No, I think they were chocolate covered strawberries that look like deviled eggs. All right, we'll keep
Jokes
watching.
on all of the
Inappropriate
treats. Like all of them were just joking about our first time, and obviously it was really setting the mood.
Oh yeah, totally.
But
Well, we had been dancing
Partying it up.
for 3 hours by this point.
no,
so.
I danced my heart and soul out on that dance floor. And so by the time I actually got to the hotel room, it was like, what?
Oh, at 1:30?
1:30 in the morning? Not really. We left earlier than that.
Maybe
Probably like
12:30?
midnight,
Yeah.
12:30. And so it was late. And I was like,
We were
so
tired.
exhausted.
We were like, let's just take a shower.
Yeah, we're like
We'll just decide.
sweaty and like my makeup, and we're just like, and just get in the shower. So that kind of like was a really fun, intimate moment. Just like getting to like obviously shower together and like detox from the night. Nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. And then I put this robe on after the shower, and I go sit down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. So I eat some of the snacks. Next thing I know, I'm asleep.
She falls asleep with the strawberries. in her
On
hair.
my wedding night, Asa took a picture.
It is so funny.
It's so funny. Honestly, if anyone's gone,
They got into the deviled eggs, and you know what happened is we just fell asleep. It's so like when I was their age, I don't know what their age is combined or individually, but when I was their age, I definitely was like, sex was like the one thing in the world I wanted to do, couldn't do it. Anyway, I had this whole $10,000 bet with my father that if I waited till I was 18, I would get $10,000. Anyway, waited until I was 19, didn't get $10,000. Why? I feel like I really lost that bet. Anyway, I understand. It's like when you're having a big fun wedding. You know, it gets late. Hey, I'm in bed by 8:30.
or
You
even
know,
like partying their heart out, they might understand that like level of
We
exhaustion.
had some friends tell us that they
That
had
they were the same way. Like I don't get me wrong, I was so excited
Yeah.
about like the intimacy moment, but I could not keep my eyes open. So I got to chill, relax, sleep, shower, all that stuff. And then he came in and we just were just chit-chatting, talking, and then it was like, it was time.
Yeah, it's time.
So weird.
It's so strange because there's like so much build up, and then you're like, okay, now? Wait, right now?
You're like, wait, right now? Because mind you, like I said, we waited, so this had been like 4.5 years, really, of us. Obviously, we had intimate moments together, but there was always this line where you just stop.
We had that boundary.
And it was so weird sitting there thinking, like, we don't have to, like, stop anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we can actually do it.
We can do whatever we want.
Like, we had, like, just to talk about it, and basically he was like, are you ready? Are you okay with trying this out? And I was like, yeah, let's just give it a go.
Try. Let me say this, like, the main question we get is, was it awkward? And how would you answer that?
No, it wasn't awkward.
It wasn't awkward like you're meeting someone for the first time, but
Was it
like
awkward?
almost anticipation. Like you're supposed to see a friend you haven't seen in 2 years. It's like you have all this anticipation and excitement.
Yeah, kind of like the feeling at your birthday party where everyone's singing you happy birthday, but you don't know if you're supposed to be singing happy
Yeah,
birthday to
you just look
yourself or you just
around.
sit there. It's like it's not really awkward, but it's like this is like so weird.
Now, yeah, I
and
was like, what do I do?
strange.
Yeah.
And we get to the point where it's like time to actually, do the action. I just remember sitting there and I'm like, we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the number one question that I got asked, like I don't want to make it.
okay, right now during this ad for what looks like the Batman movie, is that what's happening? Okay, this Batman ad. I'll tell you what happens in Batman. Batman goes to this cathedral, this gothic cathedral, where it's the burial of some boy's father, and he's reminded of himself because he was a boy and his father died, and this woman is just talking his ear off, like she won't stop talking, and he's like, thank you for getting away. And then he looks at this boy, and he's reminded of when he was a boy, and then this boy looks at him and is like, oh my god, dude, we like totally have this weird eye bond and connection. And then Batman or Bruce Wayne looks behind him because he's trying to scope out the room and make sure he sees everybody he recognizes, and he doesn't recognize the cop in the back who recognize him, but then there's the other cops and they recognize him, and he's like, I got to turn away and look at the choir boys singing because I got to keep looking at stuff and brooding and just thinking while everybody else is talking around him. And then something loud happens in the back. The Kool-Aid guy jumps in and goes, "Oh yeah," in the back, and everybody's looking around and trying to like figure out like, is it really the Kool-Aid guy or just like some like YouTuber busted in here and making this whole funeral go off track. And then Batman like looks at the boy like, uh-oh, like, oh, there's somebody in a trench coat upstairs wearing a hoodie because it's cold outside. And, oh, then a Cadillac Escalade jumps into the room, and then Bruce Wayne saves the kid. And it's this big moment where he whispers in his ear like, "You should become Robin in the future and like train." And then like the kid totally gets it. So then he goes away, and then Batman looks for the man in the hood and he's not there. And then it's like, we're getting an entire scene of the actual movie, and does anybody really care about it? And it's like, is it still going on? And it is. And there's all these different weird codes and Sudokus on the Lincoln. It's not a Cadillac, on the Lincoln. There's like crossword puzzles and Sudoku, and it's like, it's really complicated and hard to figure out. And then it's like, oh my God, somebody's getting out of the car, but it's like, don't shoot, I didn't mean to do this. You know, this is not, look, clearly something bigger is happening here and it's out of my control. And then he gets out, he's like, oh, I can't talk because I got duct tape on my face. And everybody's like, guns are drawn and like, oh my God, the stakes are high because death is on the line. And then he's like, hold up, you can't hear me still. And clearly I am rigged with some stuff, and I'm still on the hold with my girlfriend, and she's real upset with me because I haven't talked to her. And then here's a note. I have a note for the Batman, but obviously he's not there because it's daytime, and the Batman is only at night, but Bruce Wayne doesn't move as everybody else moves. Anyway, come see the Batman. Okay, that was
anyone uncomfortable or anything, but the number one top asked question is, did it hurt or was it uncomfortable for me? No, it didn't really hurt per se, especially for someone who never had done that before. You hear a lot of stories about how it can be really painful. I did not experience that. The best way I can describe it is when you go to the dentist and they put those like cheek things in at like a comfort level that you feel on your cheeks.
It's terrible. That's a
It's
a bad example.
But it wasn't like, ow, there's so much pain.
Nobody wants to go to the dentist ever, okay? So if you're going to say what sex is like, comparing it to going to the dentist is not a pro. People aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. But that's good because we'll get to the end of the video. Let's just watch the end and we'll talk about it.
Communicate with your partner and take it slow.
Yeah.
Because if you just jump right into things, that's where you're gonna risk hurting each other.
Obviously that's what happened. Like we just took it really, really slow. I know when people say, like people always say like it gets better. Oh my gosh, like the first time it's not that great. Like it gets so much better. It does get so much better. Like I don't disagree with that because you start figuring out what works, what doesn't, what you like, what you don't like. But I will say our first time was pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
There's like this like really famous thing that one of my friends posted where a lot of people don't know, like they think that if you're waiting that means you don't need to be educated. That leads you into like
that can result in some
really bad situations.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't be that person. If you're waiting, educate yourself. You can look up in textbooks, you can look up safely, securely, like in a certain situation on the internet. Like
you really had conversations with people.
I had a ton of conversations with people, like truthful, blatant, straight to the point, clear communication with a lot of people. Because a lot of people will not say it as it is. They'll be like too embarrassed. Find somebody that will and talk to them.
Absolutely.
I also read a lot of articles about myself, how there can be struggles, there can be things at work, what works for other people, stuff like that, so that I didn't leave my first time feeling like
disappointed or frustrated or confused.
Don't let anybody ever tell you that there's something wrong with figuring out how it works for yourself before you get into that situation. That's like not studying for a test and then just going in not having studied for a test and then expecting to get an A. It's like not gonna work.
The other thing is just communicate and talk to each other. If something is not working, don't be ashamed of that. Be open and be willing to talk about that because you're gonna grow and you're gonna find something that you both like.
Like that's pretty much the whole story time. There's not much else to say.
Yeah, that was our first time, and then our first week.
And then the first week, and now we're like 4 months down the road. Yeah, if you want more info, follow me on Instagram. I have a highlight with like a bunch of like links and stuff to things.
Definitely.
That would be really helpful. Oh yeah, I did have a couple people asked, like, after your first time, was it kind of like weird?
Was it an easy transition getting back to that point?
Or was it just as awkward or uncomfortable? It was
definitely more natural. Second time.
Yeah, but it was definitely like
you're still.
I don't know how to explain it.
You're
It's
still
like
in the new kind of stages. Like in that first night, it's likely that you did not figure out everything.
And the same thing happens the second, third time. I mean, it's gonna take a few times before you figure it out.
Do we like it? Yeah.
Are we having a good time?
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much sums up our first time story. I am so sorry if we didn't cover any questions you guys had. Hopefully we did for the most part. If not, you know, there's probably more info on my Instagram.
You'll probably get more info.
And I hope that covered everything. And I'm just glad we were able to even
have
film
this conversation.
So
we're not.
Thanks for putting up with the beating around the bush conversation.
We're not shy about it. Leave a comment if you have any other questions.
Still seem pretty shy about it. All right, let's like it. Let's subscribe. Let's ring the bell. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, that's done. All right. Let's give them some Benjaja coins. I want to give them 75 and a half Benjaja coins. Well done. They were very honest. Obviously, they know their audience, and so they can't really say too much, and they don't want to necessarily upset maybe parents of their audience. But yeah, you know, sex, the old sex, the old coffee and grinder, it's not a big deal. What is a big deal is getting pregnant. That's a bit that can really affect a lot of people. But you know, sex is it should be something that's just a little bit more casual, more talked about. If people want. I don't know why when people have sex though, they gotta go like tell someone about it. They're always like, hey, like I had sex last night. Like people always have to say and share with somebody if they've had sex. It's like this huge accomplishment when it should just be kind of a thing that is a lot more passe, a lot more obviously you wanna do it with somebody, you know, but you could do it with yourself. It doesn't matter. All right, we're getting way off track, way off Timble. But well done, Asa and Bailey. They did it, which is so great for them. And if you haven't done it, don't worry about it. One day you will too. And I'm talking to myself here, and it's gonna be fine. And you're good, okay? Don't even stress about a thing, right? You're not even gonna have to try. It will just happen. And if you wait till marriage, cool. If you don't wait till marriage, also cool. Do your thing, whatever that is. Word of the day is, here we go, pedantic, or pedantic. Absurdly learned, scholarly in an ostentatious way, making an inappropriate or tiresome display of knowledge by placing undue importance on trivial details, rules, or formalities. Pedantic. The way I read the sentence about pedantic was quite pedantic. And not only that, but me thinking that I'm going to put a word of the day into each episode of this Trending Trends plan is a bit of a pedantic choice on my part. Okay, if you've made it to the end of this video, you deserve a cloak of some kind, or maybe a new hoodie. But for now, what didn't they cover in their video? Write in the comments something about that. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe just to the channel. Why not? And check out my other channel, Dumb Owl, where I make a lot of original scripted comedy shorts. You can go check that out at any time you'd like. I'd appreciate if you go there, check that out. And then, yeah, that's it for the trends today. So, yeah, when you feel like life isn't going to get any better, just know it always gets better. Stay good. Let's blast off and blast off. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to sit right here and ask you to subscribe. I'll wait until you do it. So go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do